Okay. Greetings to all of you, members of the full estate. And let me extend greetings to the peace and loving people of Liberia, particularly to the thousands of supporters, our sympathizers and well-wishers, our foot soldiers and gladiators, men and women who believe in the philosophy and ideology of our party, the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. At this time, we like to invite you, members of the press, of the folk estate, to a very crucial press conference where the man who presides over the national secretary of our party will speak to the country, will speak to the broader masses of our people on what has just transpired around the perimeters, around the vicinity of the headquarters of the Interminable Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. And other critical national issues as well will also be spoken about as we proceed within the press, in the domain of the press conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, the members of the folk estate, Comrade SG.
Well, gentlemen, we want to say thank you. Today, we want to just be quite clear about the growing situation in our country. Our engagement with you is just to re-emphasize the decision of our party chairperson. I wasn't here. We were out on the field, engaging and having serious meetings until we were called. The party chairperson was here, and I got a phone call that our political headquarters were being besieged by Mr. Boaka and his police forces. We thought it was extremely wrong. We firstly want to be grateful to God for his unspecified grace upon our life. And we also want to be grateful to a religious person, Premier Philemon Tape. We want to be also grateful for his leadership intervention. When I came, I quickly asked for the police, but then we have witnessed the invasion of the police on the premises of the National Coalition for Democratic Change. I can remember in 2011, November 7th, on Bloody Monday, it gave us a sharp reminder, thinking that every citizen in Liberia know when the police were in similar form, a similar attire, a similar position, it led to the death of scores of Liberia. And interestingly for us, Gregory Coleman was in the police by then. The current 102 was the identical murderer. He's now in the same position. He was not 102 by then, but you were also in the police. On the same ground, lives were taken by police bullet. And I went strictly to the police commander and spoke to him. And we have gotten intelligence that because they are aware that our political leader comes to work on a daily basis, he was even on his way here. Who knows what a Boakai has passed instruction to harm Ambassador Weah. We are recognized political party, recognized by law. If this party is about to take any action, that action will be publicly communicated. The CDC does not operate surreptitiously. The CDC is a responsible institution. Let the police disengage in what is noted to be a bluff. the attitude of the police was a careless, recklessly careless to come here and did exactly what they did. It was utter provocation. If religious work would not have intervened, somebody come in. The political leader was on his way to this office. Who knows? And Mr. Boaka has said, the police have options. Mr. Boaka may pass an instruction. What the police may not be aware of. Mr. Boaka enjoyed the right to make a decision, but he lacked the right to choose the consequences of that decision. He may have the free will to make a decision, but he needs to be aware that he lacked inherently the fortitude and the tenacity to choose the consequences associated with that decision. We want to seize this ground and call on the stakeholders of our country. Sedition, remain calm. Religious leader Philemon Tappe spoke to me directly on the phone at our home ground at the party headquarters. We are instructed some of our partisans that were out there who they were very prepared in self-defense of themselves. Scores of our partisans who called in trying to come from counties around. We want to say to you, the political leaders have called me and said every other thing should be calm, and you should not allow Mr. Boaka to use you as an escape route. The CDC will continuously demonstrate to the world that she remains the custodian of the peace and democracy of our country, not just by expression, by practical, empirical facts and evidence. We have demonstrated that. Today again, this can be termed as an imminent threat on the life of our political leader. He comes to work every morning. You bring police people here and say people won't demonstrate. CDC, that party who won't take action and they go do it, we take ownership of our decision. No, I know, Boaka, you are haunted by your inability and your gross misappropriation of the workings of the Liberian people. Do not. And you will not even allow the CDC to make a premature decision. No. No. I want to say to Greg, we do not want to bring you Greg. Greg, you need to disengage. You were fully communicated with. Very soon you're going to become a collateral damage into this. You can't stop provoking the people. You preside over men, and their biggest achievement is taking away the life of innocent people. Few days and weeks ago, we saw a police that's been trained by taxpayer money was shot dead. 15-year-old kid. 2 nights ago, a 19-year-old kid was shot dead. And you tell her that you have this role, Greg, you should be asking yourself to dismiss yourself. It shows that a lack of leadership, you show no leadership. You cannot be an inspector general when death is becoming a norm of our society. That's not what the Liberian people signed up for. Stop what you're doing. How are you acting like you don't know CDC? You don't know us? Stop what you're doing. We want to say to you, today, you should be very grateful to Pioneer Pastor Philemon Tappe. We will not assure you the latitude and the opportunity you have here again. This party headquarters, moving forward, No police person will be armed in a form and manner will come the way you came here again. That will be a strong word given to you. We will not permit you, neither will we tolerate you again. Because we reserve the right to protect our lives. And Mr. Parker needs to know the life of Mr. Weir is placed on the head of this president. He's making frantic effort. These are the subsequent attacks on the life of Mr. Weir. When he returned in the country, you took the army and you deployed them at the international airport. Today, Mr. Weir is on his way to his office at his party headquarters. You deployed barrage of armed carrying men. We believe some of the trained police officers refused to wear. Those people we saw, they don't even look like a Liberian. We understand Malaysians were imported there, put in police uniform, pretending to be police officers. And the intel in the police tell us that the trained police officers have refused to be part of this operation. So you bring in your Malaysians and put them and unify them and pretend to look that they are police officers. We confronted them and we look in their faces. They don't look like Liberians. These are Malaysians brought into the country. The fact that you have a person who was appointed claiming to have ties with the Russians, today Mr. Parker yet to say a word. This green letter carrier of Mr. Parker is comfortably seated and arrogantly displaying that the relationship with Russia is something that Mr. Parker is very proud of. It's not in our place to determine what relationship Mr. Parker wants to cultivate with any country, but we are very concerned about the sovereignty of our country as stakeholders in this country, owing to the fact that we invested in the peace and democracy of our country. Start creating panic for our people. Look at today, people calling all over the place. You made your decision, some other decision, turn it into a way to go after you. Stop creating a panic mood. The CDC at no point in time had declared any actions. Why it's true that the CDC is aware of the careless, reckless approach that is being conspicuously seen in governance. The CDC is aware of that. Stop. So we came here to inform the public, our partisans, Liberians. You need to be aware. And sometimes you say what the CDC is doing. For us, we allow you Liberians to have the appreciation of what you have allowed upon yourself. Wake up in the morning, what police officer is irritated, and the result of that irritation is a loss of life. CTN today, where people were telling you that people were engaged into state looting. Every other thing that were condemned, that they condemned today are being nationalized and traditionalized by their attitudes and governance. See what is happening. $8 million cannot be located. $22 million is in limbo. We want the Liberians people to be aware of that. The CDC is using and getting everything possible, calling on the three branches of government. Mr. Parker act this morning is an open attack on the peace and democracy of our country. Ambassador Weah remained a symbol of peace of our country, even on our continent. I think Mr. Boaka is actively getting involved in undermining himself. I think they reached a point that they cannot deliver anymore. So I think they want to use violence as a justification of his ineptitude. That he cannot provide leadership again. Because every other thing that was stated by him is being undermined by himself. So, partisans, Liberians, want to say thank God to Reverend Philemon Tappet, Ambassador Weah, who have intervened to save this potential imminent calamity that will be engendered and executed by Gregory Coleman. The police now are becoming agent of death. When you go in the community, stop. And let me say to you, police officers, stop allowing others to endanger you, police. We know each one of you fully well. Stop. The community know you. The people know you. Stop. Stop getting or trying to execute unlawful orders. And that's why we believe those who came here cannot be Liberians. Those are foreigners, mercenaries who were attired into police uniforms. A few of the one who have been drugged to ensure doing the wrong thing, they came here. Stop Gregory Coleman. You know all fully well. We take full ownership of what we engaged into. So very soon the chairperson has communicated that Mr. Boaka has crossed a dangerous rail line, and that's a signal. So partisans, honor my voice, believers of our institution, we want to say to you, remain kind, do not panic. Let us focus on the August 24th as we move forward to organizing the August 24th. So please, everything is under control. Tomorrow will be the mass meeting. Your leaders are in full control. Mr. Boaka is hastening. He is indeed hastening his ineptitude before the war. And so the Liberian people will very soon respond to him in a very sharp way. The CDC remain here as the bridge between Mr. Boaka, regime, and the Liberian people. This is the only safe haven. Gregory needs to be fully aware. It's an attack on the judiciary, attack on the legislature, and attack on the Liberian people themselves. So in the scene, the police is in competition with malaria. It seems to be Liberians are outraged with the police. The malaria put Liberians at risk. So statistically, when you check the harm and the threat and danger Liberians are facing with the police can be statistically compared to the threat malaria is currently causing on its people. We want to send this very clear that the police were there wrong. They should never venture in the premises of the Democratic Coalition for Democratic Change. We, moving forward, we have ensured that the requisite measures will be deployed without hesitation to ensure that the safety of our people will be rested in our hands, and we have no option to rush to the defense in preserving the safety and dignity of the people of this country. Thank you so kindly.
So thank you. You listen to the voice of the Secretary General of our party, and it is now your turn to ask questions. This time around will be very rigid. We ask you to ask questions as per the conversation, as per the content and domain of the press conference. So please call your name and the institution you represent. Please, you are entitled to a question. Thank you. So let's begin with Sylvester.
Sylvester Warwick, and I report for Spoon TV. Secretary General, you just passed a message to your partisans and Liberian allies, but you sounded more angry. Was it a threat to the police? If they do come here, what would be your action?
Well, from there, baby, I don't know how you train. I just started being more firm. And when actions precipitate threat and threat on life, I don't know how you sound about that. Do you know what will happen today when Ambassador Weah will have come to work? Do you know the calls we're receiving? Do you know the pandemonium that he has created today? Do you know people from whom and abroad calling us? Why Mr. Boaka is, I don't understand about these people. I thought they should be in the basis of trying to preserve, but these are a group of people who are frantically engaged in undermining themselves, engaging into utter provocation. Your fundamental responsibility is to keep the peace of this country. How dare you come in the primacy of the leading opposition political party? And Ambassador, he is a global citizen. He comes to work here every day. And Mr. Boaka what is he thinking? Who anybody around him thinking there must be something more stronger than water to think that you can harm Mr. Weah? You gotta be taking something extremely, because you know what water is. Something gotta be stronger than that. So I want to say to you, Sylvester, no, you can't make me angry. I'm the presiding officer. How do you police will make me angry? No, you can't. We have what it takes to do exactly what we want to do. So anger is not in our fabric, neither in our chromosome. We speak decisively and firmly because on the basis of the issue that is related to our safety.
Yeah. So your name is Archie Bowen, and I report for today. Today, it was alleged that some dismissed EPA officers were in the face of protests. And all of a sudden, we see some sedition with those EPA officers, and some other sedition who were in the street demonstrating as well.
No, that's false. No, that's false and misleading. There has been no. I'm saying there is. The CDC don't take action surreptitiously, like what the ruling party did. They lie to the Liberian people. They need to face in their lie. The CDC don't lie, and that's what decisions are not very difficult for us to take. 12 years when the elections were stood on the air, we mustered the courage. We stood and took a decision, a patriotic and nationalistic decision. We presided over this country. And we took a decision, even in the face of some of our partisans who were not angry, who were extremely angry. But we said, this decision will go down in history. We separate CDC, not just only in Liberia, around the world, and its leaders, as one of Liberia's and the continent's patriotic and nationalistic leaders. So we do not take decision and we disown our decision. No protest, but the right of protest is a democratic precept and tendency. If the CDC want to protest here, the CDC will announce a protest. The CDC is not a coward institution, it's a movement. We do not pass through surrogate grouping like what the Unity Party will do and cancel on days, and they know we will not do. The CDC over the period of time will take full charge of its actions. And that's why the CDC is not in rush. We will get to the point what the CDC will state, unequivocally, categorically, its definite position in this country. And that's what the political leader make it very clear, that we use our political, legal, that is squarely on our disposal.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Francis K. Dikopa, report for the Liberia TV Network. You did provide some exception that some police officers were, hired from Malaysia. They are different national. What tools are you actually using to identify, personnel in the security force?
Well, you see, those people were not even talking to us. I don't think any Liberian police we decide to walk and come. The police is a very decent force. No Liberian police with the requisite training will display what they display here today. It got to be strangers who doesn't know. It's got to be strangers who doesn't know. Those guys were not even talking. They don't look like Liberians. And that's why you see the way they were conducting. And the reason why we say that, because we are victims, we know we are paranoid of similar actions here before. It was the same kind of a way these people conducted themselves, and they left a toad sky on the CDC that led to the scores, left death on our people. So we said to you, we saw them, we think the police owner, our administration never visited no party headquarters, never visited nobody's rooms surreptitiously. So we don't do the police, we invested in the police, and we think the police will not do what we're being transpired today. And that's the reason we think the way they appear and the way their actions clearly interpret, defined that they're not Liberians.
Yes, I'm Augustine from DA News Liberia. Yesterday, police argued a session of illegal firearm flying around Monrovia. As Secretary General of CDC, what do you mean of that?
You see those comments. Why you sending why you sending panic in the public? What you know what you mean when you say that on the RG? Why you creating pandemonium among the citizenry? So you want investors to say arms in the community that you do not have control of? You should be telling us that we have work, and that you were paid not to be, a town crier. Every 5 minutes you go to town, no, that's not what he's being paid for. No, he's not. He should stop doing that. He's been given a responsibility to work responsibly and efficiently. He should be telling us his successes, his accomplishment, what he has accomplished. You can't come and be sending fear to people. You know what you mean you're saying to us? So businesses and investors may not come. What you want to come to a country? What the Inspector General telling that, if possible, every other citizens have illegal weapon in their possession. So meaning the safety of the country is at risk. Who do we know who carrying weapons? But you are the Inspector General. Tell us your function to provide safety. It's not to provide fear. It's not to create instability among the populace. And that's it, you see, I don't understand. And that's why I think Gregory has become microphone friendly. And apparently he displaying, apparently he want to go and help a peer. He must be an information minister. The police, the Inspector General must be mostly an action-oriented person, delivering results, and not the one press secretary every 2-3 hours. You will not see you kneel it down. Somebody left has taken, and you say you dismiss people. We are understanding. The police, very soon, there are reports in the police we're trying to lay our hands on. And when that report is in our hand, we share that with our international partner. There are dangerous reports that we're trying to lay our hand on. One that is clear, and then we can assure you that the Liberian people will be today informed.
My name is Jefferson. We are in a report for Care Communications Network.
What?
Care Communications Network.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Secretary General, the dismissed EPS officers were seen around the premises of the CDC carrying on their action. Are you in support of them being around the premises of the CDC? If not, why were they here?
How do you describe them and say they were here? How do you describe them?
They were just around the premises of the CDC.
Well, the CDC is a bastion of Liberians. This is where it's a bastion of Liberians. And this is where when it's a safe haven for all oppressed Liberians. Waka is the chief oppressor He has armed himself with the tendency of oppressing Liberian. So this is where people come. So if people came here and you try to call them, what I can say to you authoritatively, there was no such thing as protest was being instigated at the grounds of the Congress for Democratic Change. What we will not do, we will not say we will prevent your oppressed when you, the oppressor, decide to oppress them. That is our role. Our role is to ensure that Bwaka, the oppressors, Bwaka who continue to oppress his people, the CDC will be the one to stand in defense of them. So, no balance. The place is a place where Liberians can come and see. It's a safe haven for Liberians who are confronted with threat on their life and things. So, if you want to say people want to demonstrate, you don't come to CDC headquarters. You don't come to CDC headquarters. And that's why we're thinking, stop to use is, I think they're trying to scapegoat. Because Mr. We are come to work here every day. Mr. We are come to work here every day. Who come, how do we come stage protest here? Where? They should be going to where the action is being taken. You should go to the various, what you call public offices. That's what police, if you want to, that's where police should be able to go deploy. To come here is a total provocation, and it is a way to tell us that you have a motive. And that motive will be unmasked. And that's why we're taking it very seriously.
Thank you. So we'll take the last, very last question. So let's take the video. You're done? Okay, so yeah.
Thank you. So you're not with Spoon again.
SG, my name is Trukon Flama and I report for Spoon.
I asked Spoon, you had two questions. I asked Spoon down there.
Came here as a team.
Oh, okay, so you haven't told me. So that the corruption right there. Everybody asks one question, Spoon asking two.
And different individuals.
No, I know. You see, I don't want to know that Spoon is engaged in the corruption.
No corruption here.
How? You asking two questions. Everybody's entitled to one. But anyway, go ahead.
Ask the question.
All right.
You did mention earlier on that your supporters should wait a mass meeting. Following a mass meeting, there will be an event on August 20th. Can you tell us what exactly going to be happening on August 20th?
Yeah, we will be appreciating our partisans. Yeah, the president is a very magnanimous person, and he thinks the partisans have been doing extremely well since after the election. Mind you, we're about to go on our county tour. So we begin on August 24 at the party headquarters, where partisans were assembled for their appreciation. The president will be talking with them and all the partisans, and we'll also use the same occasion on the appreciation movement. And there are people who live in on fear and on threat. And so at that moment, a lot may happen. We use one stone to engage many birds. So I don't know, you need to be, if that's what you want. So we want to tell you very clearly that was what happening. Is there anything else?
Yeah, you said that you'll be appreciating support of somebody who you just got defeated in an election. What's there to celebrate, to appreciate people?
Well, you see, our sense of humanity and the president magnanimity is go without question. And that's the reason why, for us, the way we conduct ourselves, it was a very heated elections. A lot transpired as we engaged in the consolidation and the recalibration of our partisans. We thought it was important for the effort demonstrated and the role we play in this country preserve an appreciation. I hope you tell me when Stanton is on his way to prison. He's coming. You see, you got to tell me that, when Stanton is on his way to prison. The only issue, let me say this to you, and that's got to be very clear. Ahoying, filibustering, and passing. Stanton, you say you want to debate with me. You are a contradiction of debate. You cannot be debating with me. Because a criminal like you, a convicted criminal, people who go and say to you, they are contributing. And they are contributing to, and you think because you're talking now and say there, I can have my 100% disagreement with the Unity Party. But I think I do not support the Unity Party for you, a stand up with a spoon, to be dictating with Mr. Wagner how to run his government. And you beyond that, what I understand is you beyond Sylvester Gillespie. He says Sylvester Gillespie because you are. You see, that's the hypocritical nature of the criminal like you. You see, you want to cut it off. But the other thing will carry on. That hypocritical nature. You ask me, yeah, I can engage you. Because you have relationship with J. Tabacol. You see, that's how people look. I say this free to you. That's how regime can fall. Internal fighting. Stanton is a criminal whom is a worker may see as a tool and deploy him effectively. And look, we kissy people. I'll be very friendly with you. The old man is very old. He's a kissy old man. He know people fully well. A criminal like that, you voice cannot become a voice of reasoning to detect the workings of governors of our country. Who told you because you sit behind the microphone and you utter say people are criminal, they stay, it vindicate you. Then you say you're running behind America. Okay, you see, it's an irony. It is an irony in our today's Liberia. The criminal who decide to have a media, a platform, today he tries to impose himself on the society. That is the society we are accepting, they should forgive him. Sometimes you've been tolerated, it doesn't mean you are one of those characters who say you love Liberia. How can a criminal like you love Liberia? How can a spineless, shapeless, shameless criminal like you go every day, you have zero conscience. You have no conscience. They tell you how you are so deathly, you are conscienceless. So every day you sit behind that microphone, they say to the Liberian, and forget it, you're taking advantage. I don't think that because people listening to you, that it has shield you from your nature and your actual character. What you are known for in this country and globally, and you remain a national embarrassment and shame to your family and your children, they will never escape. You look like a tattoo in the heart of your kids. They will never be redeemed from that. Whenever they think they will know their father was incarcerated internationally, globally, he's a criminal who pretending to use a platform to change his face and his reputation. That will never go free. And you basically God has patience, and you talk and say, oh God, and you call God me. But you see, God is very unique. God is a very unique God. Very soon, you will be greeted with the consequences of what you have led, that led to the left, that people think Americans, people are aware. They're aware. So thank you very much for that question. Honestly, thank you.